One of the great privileges I have as being the associate principal is I get to walk into each and every shiur during the morning here in Yeshiva. Walking into Rabbi Lebowitz's shiur, you knew exactly what you're going to get. The boys would be totally on task, looking at the Rebbe and trying to take in every single word he said. Whether it was the shaila of the day, the learning, or a good joke that he wanted to share with the boys, all they wanted to do was hear his Torah. Rabbi Lebowitz has had such a zchus of turning on so many boys into learning, where you see them advance from his shiur to greater heights after they finish, and how they maintain that relationship with him, asking shilas to him even into their adult life.
So I have to speak Rabbi Lebowitz, and you're only giving me 30 seconds, so it's going to be kind of hard. But for starters, Rabbi Lebowitz is his charisma, the organization, and the clarity that he teaches the Gemara makes it almost impossible either not to understand or not to enjoy learning.
From the minute we stepped into Rabbi Lebowitz's shiur, the insistence on the importance of tzitzis was apparent. We had constant emphasis on the importance of tzitzis, and to sweeten the deal, Rabbi Lebowitz said that he would be bringing in donuts and hot cocoa on random days, and if we were wearing tzitzis, we would get donuts and hot cocoa. That really blew me away. The fact that the Rebbe cared so much to take out of his own pocket to make sure that we were doing mitzvos really shocked me, and it showed me how special Rabbi Lebowitz really is.
I've had the great zchus to know Rabbi Lebowitz for a long, long time. 20 years ago, Rabbi Lebowitz and I were roommates in Keren B'Yavneh, and we were also chavrusas. We learned the afternoon seder together, Bava Kama, I believe. Rabbi Lebowitz at that time distinguished himself as, for sure, being the biggest masmid in Keren B'Yavneh. It was frightening. It was absolutely frightening to learn with him. He would go through the Gemaras and the Tosfos, and it was shown him like it was a comic book. It was really a sight to see. It was an unbelievable zchus to learn with him those years. And what's amazing about Rabbi Lebowitz is that from that moment till today, he's not stopped. He hasn't stopped for 1 minute growing, learning. He's become such a phenomenal, unbelievable Talmid Chacham, someone that we all look up to, someone that we respect. But the one thing I just want to discuss and perhaps highlight is Rabbi Lebowitz is so normal, and that word gets thrown around so much these days, but he's so relatable, he's so normal. The way he interacts with people, the way he applies halacha, his piskei halacha in general are so relatable and so normal. He understands people in such a unique, special way.
What really makes Rabbi Lebowitz stand out is how he literally knows Kol Torah Kulo, but he also has been to every baseball stadium on the East Coast with his kids. And I think that's what makes Rabbi Lebowitz relatable. He could be holding in every sugya in Shas, and also know the score of the Mets and Yankees games the night before.
It's not just the fact that he was a Rebbe who knew so much and we gave so much kavod to. It was that we were all felt this special connection with him. We were all close with him. We all felt that we were able to talk to him after shiur. And as far as his shiur goes, he laid out the sugya, the topics, all so well. He gave us all such a great understanding of the Bekiyas, of the Be'in, the Gemara, the Mefarshim. We all walked out of his class with a level of confidence that we had mastered the material.
To speak about Rabbi Lebowitz's level of Torah scholarship, to speak about his lomdus, to speak about his output in terms of shiurim is really unnecessary. Anyone can open up yutorah.org with long lists of Rabbi Lebowitz's shiurim. I think an important facet that has impressed me so much over the years is what we speak about in Unasana Tokef, the midah of Umu'urav Bedas im Habrios. There is a warmth, there's an extraordinary, wonderful sense of humor, there is a sensitivity to normal people's needs and weaknesses that Rabbi Lebowitz is so sensitive to, that if you discuss an issue of psak halacha with him, you're getting a response for somebody who's tuned into you and into those needs.
As a Talmid Chacham, as a Ben Torah, his breadth of Torah, of Shas, of Halacha is something I look up to, I've always looked up to. His Hasmada, that synthesized with his love of every single Talmud and being so normal. is something I just try to follow and to emulate every day of my life.
Like many hundreds of 11th graders after me, I was also totally turned on to learning by my 11th grade Rebbe. Even as a young Rebbe, he was totally able to capture our attention, make the Gemara come alive with his famous Gemara scenarios, and we developed an incredible, close relationship, and I didn't only gain a fantastic Rebbe for my junior year, but a Rebbe for life. And when it came time for my wife and I to decide on a community to live in, it was so push-it that we would move to North Woodmere to be able to be with Rabbi Lebowitz. As a community Rav, he makes himself incredibly accessible. He cares about every family as if they are his own, and it's impossible after a Shabbos North Woodmere not to feel unbelievably uplifted and entertained by his drassos, by his shiurim, and by his Torah. And although he's not in DRS as much as he used to be, he certainly left his mark here. It is not uncommon to go into the Beis Medrash and see a boy listening on Wayu Torah to one of his Bekiya Shurim, or even to find Tura Bayam using his unbelievable Mara Makomos to prepare some of their own Shiur.
So before I had my father last year for Shir, a lot of people used to come up to me and tell me, wow, your father really got me into Torah, he really got me into learning, he really did this for me and that for me. And I used to always think, all right, yeah, well, sure, you're telling me that because I'm his son, so you want to make me feel good, great, good job. But last year when I was really able to experience it and see it firsthand, it really showed me what a special person he is and how he was able to incorporate all of his abilities into the classroom and make it amazing.
Rav Kook has a thought on the Siddur of Yom Kippur, Ad shelo notzarti eini chadai. Before I was born, I wasn't Kedai, meaning Rav Kook says, every person in history, in every generation, is born into that specific generation at a specific time because they have a purpose to fulfill then. Once in a while, not so often, we come across an individual that typifies this credo of Ad shelo notzarti eini chadai, but now I am Kedai. Influencing Jews across the world in a way that only Yechidei Skula can accomplish. Rabbi Lebowitz, who I had the privilege of learning with for 6 years in the back of the DRS Beis Medrash, is one of these people. He has the uncanny ability to unearth what this generation needs, which avenues of Torah will work, and then carry through in a clear and pristine presentation that is known as Rabbi Lebowitz clarity. His 10-minute halacha, his daf yomi are heard and inspire and inform throughout the world, while his amazing real-life Gemara cases wake up in the average teenage boy the ratzon and the tshuka to understand the Dvar Hashem.
Rabbi Lebowitz, he deserves a lot of covet and so much Torah. I feel embarrassed that people say, he says that he's a Talmud man. He already learned so much. He already graduated my shir. He is really on his own. I think it's a Chisis HaKavod to say that he's a Talmud man. But Mazel Tov Rabbi Lebowitz and Mazel Tov to Yeshiva.